In the sunny town of Harborview Village, there lived some animals that loved to bask in the sun and romp in the meadows. They were all pretty friendly with one another and got along well with newcomers, too. They spent the days playing games and picnicking under shady trees. Their nights were filled with stargazing under the blanket of the midnight blue sky. They were a happy bunch, well, most of them anyway, except for one, Max the Hare. Hare was a mischievous little guy and didn't get along with others. Well, maybe he just didn't know how to. Either way, he spent much of the time all by himself, thinking of ways to fool the others. Hare ran around chasing and teasing.
Ha ha, I'm better than you are.
And the mouse said,
That's not nice.
and the owl said,
That's not right.
and the frog said,
No jump round, that's my job.
Sometimes the animals laughed, but mostly they were embarrassed or annoyed, especially when he played pranks on them. Hare walked over to Cat with a not-so-funny surprise.
Here, I have something for you. For me. For me? Oh, you.
And the dog said,
That's not nice.
and the squirrel said,
Leave us alone.
Hare was very naughty. He didn't seem to care that he was hurting people's feelings. He'd rush up behind the other animals and scare them.
Boo! Ah! Leave us alone.
And as usual, Hare was left all by himself. Most of all, Hare liked to make fun of Tortoise. Hare thought of himself as the fastest animal in the forest. He was very proud of his speed, and he loved to show off.
Tommy Tortoise, you're so slow.
And the tortoise said, But one day, Tortoise became tired of Max's teasing. He didn't think it was cool for him to hurt everyone's feelings. He was feeling a little more brave than usual, so he told Max the Hare,
I'm not supposed to think.
Let's have a race.
Let's have a race. Ha ha ha, that's the funniest thing I ever heard.
Hare laughed and laughed. He had never heard anything more hilarious. But just for fun, Hare accepted Tommy Tortoise's silly challenge.
I accept. This ought to be good. I'm fast, so fast. Oh, what a pace. It's easy. I'll win this race.
And the tortoise said,
Run steady.
Ah, slow and steady, always ready. I can get where I must go.
Max the hare snickered while all of the animals in the forest stood around in amazement and whispered to one another about the challenge. They speculated who would win and how fast this race would be over. Worried about Tommy Tortoise's rash decision and how embarrassed he might feel at the end of the race, the animals all sighed in concern. Just like every race, this race needed a judge, so Wolf agreed to do it. Wolf found his position at the starting line. He held his flag in his hand and waited for the contestants to arrive. Max the hare ran up to the starting line and did some stretches while he waited for Tommy Tortoise to arrive. He looked around, but Tommy was far behind, slowly making his way. When Tortoise finally approached the start, Wolf raised his flag.
Ready, set, go.
Hare dashed out of sight. Tortoise trotted slowly behind.
Read the book.
The race was in full swing. All of the forest animals were cheering on the sidelines. The cheerleaders saw Tommy shuffling slowly behind and began a cheer to give him a little boost. But Tommy Tortoise just kept up his slow and steady pace. He didn't seem worried, but his pals did. So they tried to cheer him on. Tortoise kept plodding along until he was out of sight and reached the thick of the forest.
I wait for Tortoise to catch up so he can watch me win.
Hare decided to lay down under a tree in a comfortable and shady spot to wait for Tortoise. Soon, Max was fast asleep. He snored away as he snoozed on the warm summer day. Slowly but surely, Tortoise plodded along, one slow step after the other. Eventually, Tortoise passed Hare, who was still snoring away. Suddenly, Hare woke up. He was shocked to see Tortoise about to reach the finish line. Hare hopped up and began to sprint at full speed after Tortoise. As they both made their best efforts to win the race, Hare was too late. Tortoise crossed the finish line first and won the race. And the cheerleaders said,
Give me a T. Oh! Give me an S. Give me an F. Give me a Y. What is that spell? Tommy. You won the race, Tommy. Go, Tommy.
all of the animals clapped and cheered as Tommy Tortoise accepted the trophy.
Congratulations.
Max the hare saw this and realized that maybe teasing isn't the way to make friends. He joined the gang and congratulated the tortoise.
Nice job on the win, Tommy.
And the tortoise said,
Thanks, Max.
Tommy felt so proud in that moment, not only that he won the race, but because he had so many friends, and a new one. Tommy Tortoise proudly said to his friends,
Thanks, friends. When steady wins the race.
I'm hot.
"The end."